Imagine a world where 20% of teenagers experience depression before they reach adulthood, and social media plays a significant role in this alarming statistic. This is not a dystopian novel, but rather the reality we are living in today. The advent of social media has revolutionized the way we communicate, share, and perceive the world around us. But with this revolution comes a dark side that often goes unnoticed. The impact of social media on mental health is a topic that's been under the spotlight in recent years. Researchers and psychologists around the globe have been delving into this complex issue, trying to unravel the intricate web of connections between our online habits and our mental well-being. In this digital age, teenagers are particularly vulnerable. They're the first generation to grow up with social media as a constant in their lives, and the effects can be surprisingly detrimental. Studies suggest that around 1 in every 5 teenagers experiences depression before they reach adulthood. This is a shocking statistic, and what's even more alarming is the correlation between this and social media use. The constant barrage of perfectly curated photos, the pressure to maintain an online persona, the fear of missing out, all these factors add up, creating a breeding ground for anxiety, depression, and low self-esteem among young people. It's a silent epidemic, hidden behind the screens we peer into every day. But it's not all doom and gloom. Acknowledging the problem is the first step towards finding solutions. Understanding the impact of social media on mental health allows us to develop strategies to combat its negative effects and harness its potential for positive change. So let's navigate this complex landscape together. Let's explore the science behind the screen, the impact on mental health, the positive side of social media, and how we can strike a balance. Dive into this hidden world with us as we unravel the complex relationship between social media and mental health. Believe it or not, there's a science behind the addictive nature of social media. It's not just about scrolling endlessly through your feed or binge-watching videos. It's a lot more complex than that, and it has to do with a little chemical messenger in our brains called dopamine. Now, dopamine is often referred to as the feel-good neurotransmitter. It's linked to the pleasure centers in our brains, and it's released whenever we experience something rewarding. This could be anything from eating a delicious meal to receiving a compliment. And yes, even when you get a like on your latest social media post. Social media platforms, in all their sophistication, have mastered the art of tapping into this dopamine-driven reward system. Every like, share, and comment you receive triggers a tiny release of dopamine, and your brain loves it. It craves for more. And so you keep on scrolling, keep on posting, keep on engaging. The platforms are brilliantly designed to keep you hooked, to keep you coming back for more. This is known as a dopamine-driven feedback loop. It's a cycle where the reward triggers a dopamine release, which in turn drives you to seek out more rewards. It's the same mechanism that's behind many addictive behaviors, from gambling to drug use. And social media platforms have found a way to tap into it. But it's not all fun and games. This constant stimulation of our dopamine system can lead to a kind of dependency. We start to rely on these digital rewards for our dopamine hits. We become, in a sense, addicted to social media. Now, this doesn't mean that everyone who uses social media is addicted, but it does highlight the potential risks and the power that these platforms can have over our behaviors and our brains. It's a fascinating, yet somewhat unsettling aspect of our digital lives. So, what happens when our brains get hooked on these digital doses of dopamine? The impact of social media on our mental health is more significant than many of us realize. This statement, while simple, encapsulates the essence of a growing concern in our digitally driven society. A Pandora's box of sorts, social media brings both a wealth of information and a wave of emotional challenges. Recent studies have unearthed a worrying correlation between excessive social media use and increased feelings of depression, anxiety, loneliness, and poor body image. The constant barrage of carefully curated lives and seemingly perfect bodies can create a distorted reality, leading to feelings of inadequacy, self-doubt, and even despair. Imagine spending hours scrolling through feeds, immersed in the highlights of others' lives. It's easy to feel like you're falling behind, isn't it? This is what psychologists call social comparison. a process that can fuel feelings of anxiety and depression, especially when we compare our behind the scenes with everyone else's highlight reel. And then there's the body image issue. Social media platforms are awash with images of perfect bodies, further perpetuated by filters and photo editing apps. This constant exposure can lead to poor body image and even trigger eating disorders, particularly among young people. Furthermore, the very nature of social media, its immediacy, its omnipresence, can make it a breeding ground for feelings of loneliness. It's ironic, isn't it? We're more connected than ever, yet feelings of isolation are on the rise. This paradox is often attributed to the lack of genuine face-to-face interaction that social media can sometimes replace. But it's not all doom and gloom. Not all aspects of social media are harmful. It's important to remember that social media is simply a tool, and like any tool, its impact depends largely on how we use it. It can be a source of inspiration, a platform for self-expression, a means to connect with like-minded individuals across the globe. The key lies in understanding its potential pitfalls and navigating them wisely. Let's not forget, social media can also be a force for good. While we've spent time examining the potential pitfalls of social media, it's important to remember the remarkable benefits this technology has brought to our lives. One of the most significant advantages is the ability to connect with loved ones, regardless of physical distance. Imagine being able to wish your grandmother a happy birthday, even though she's halfway across the globe, or catching up with a childhood friend who's moved to a different continent. Social media has made it possible for us to maintain these precious relationships despite the miles that separate us. Beyond personal relationships, social media has also fostered communities of like-minded individuals. Whether you're a die-hard Star Trek fan, an avid gardener, or a passionate climate activist, there's a group out there for you. These online communities provide a sense of belonging and camaraderie that can be hard to find in the physical world. They allow us to share our passions, our concerns, and our dreams with others who understand and appreciate them. But the benefits of social media don't stop at connection and community. It's also a platform for learning and growth. With just a few taps on a screen, we can access a wealth of information on virtually any topic. We can watch tutorials to learn a new skill, read articles to broaden our understanding of the world, or engage in debates to challenge our perspectives. Social media has become a hub of knowledge and enlightenment that's accessible to anyone with an internet connection. Of course, like any tool, social media is only as good as how we use it. It can be a source of inspiration or a trigger for envy, a place of support, or a breeding ground for negativity. But with awareness and intentionality, we can harness the positive power of social media while minimizing its potential harms. So, how do we strike a balance between the good and the bad? That's the question we'll be exploring in our next segment. Stay tuned as we delve deeper into this complex and fascinating topic. Striking a balance in the world of social media is key to maintaining our mental health. This is not a call to arms for a technological revolution or a return to the days of carrier pigeons and telegrams, but rather a call for personal responsibility and awareness. Firstly, let's talk about setting boundaries. It's crucial to establish a healthy relationship with our digital devices. This could mean designating certain hours of the day as tech-free, or limiting our time spent on specific platforms. The idea is not to restrict ourselves, but to create a sense of control over our digital consumption. Next, we need to consider mindful use. That means being aware of why we're logging on. Are we seeking connection, entertainment, or are we mindlessly scrolling out of habit? By questioning our motives, we can make more intentional choices about our online activities. Digital detox, a term that's been buzzing around lately, is another strategy. This is essentially a break from our digital devices, a chance to reconnect with the world beyond the screen. It doesn't have to be a week-long retreat in the wilderness. Even a day or a few hours can make a significant difference. Moreover, we should also focus on quality over quantity. Meaningful interactions and authentic connections can be far more satisfying than a high follower count or a frenzy of likes. Social media is not a popularity contest, and it's a tool that can be used to build genuine relationships. Moreover, let's not forget the power of positive content. By curating our feeds to include uplifting and inspiring posts, we can transform our digital environment into a source of positivity and motivation. Finally, it's important to remember that it's okay to seek help if we're feeling overwhelmed. Whether it's from a trusted friend, family member, or a mental health professional, support is available. Remember, it's not about completely eliminating social media, but rather learning how to use it in a way that serves us. By striking a balance, we can navigate the digital world with confidence and grace, maintaining our mental health while staying connected in this modern age. The future of social media and its impact on mental health is still unfolding. As we move further into this digital age, we are likely to see continuing evolution in the ways we use and interact with social media. And with that comes a shifting landscape for mental health. One potential trend to watch is the rise of virtual reality and augmented reality platforms. These immersive experiences could provide new ways for people to connect and interact, but they may also bring new challenges. Imagine the impact on self-esteem if we're constantly comparing ourselves not just to people's highlight reels, but to their virtual idealized selves. Another important trend is the increasing integration of artificial intelligence in social media. This could lead to more personalized and engaging content, but it may also contribute to the echo chamber effect, where we're only exposed to views and ideas that reinforce our own. This could have significant implications for our mental health, including increased feelings of isolation and polarization. The role of social media in our lives is also likely to expand. As we become more reliant on these platforms for everything from entertainment to education to work, the lines between our online and offline lives may blur even more. This could increase the risk of cyberbullying, online harassment, and digital fatigue, all of which can have serious impacts on mental health. As these trends develop, the importance of ongoing research in this field cannot be overstated. We need to keep pace with the changes, continually assessing the impact on mental health and developing strategies for mitigating any negative effects. This could involve everything from developing new features that promote positive interactions to implementing policies that protect users' mental health. As we continue to navigate the digital age, understanding the relationship between social media and our mental health becomes more crucial than ever. We've covered a lot of ground today, so let's take a moment to recap. We kicked off our journey by delving into the unseen impact of social media. We looked at how these platforms, while designed to connect us, often end up isolating us, creating a false sense of connection that can lead to feelings of loneliness and depression. We then journeyed into the science behind the screen, unraveling the mechanisms that make social media so addictive. We discussed how these platforms use algorithms to keep us hooked, bombarding us with notifications and content that trigger dopamine releases, creating a cycle of addiction that's hard to break. Our exploration took us to the impact of social media on mental health. We highlighted studies that link excessive social media use to a range of mental health issues, from anxiety and depression to body image concerns and sleep disorders. This led us to the positive side of social media. We explored how these platforms can foster community, provide support, and create spaces for self-expression. We stressed that the key is to use social media mindfully, engaging with it in a way that brings joy and value rather than stress and anxiety. Next, we discussed the importance of striking a balance. We shared strategies for maintaining mental well-being in the digital age, from setting boundaries on screen time to curating a positive online environment. Finally, we looked ahead to the future of social media and mental health. We pondered on how technology and psychology might intersect in the coming years, exploring potential solutions for mitigating the negative impacts of social media. In the end, the key to navigating the world of social media is understanding its impact on our mental health and learning how to use it in a way that serves us, not the other way around. Thanks for watching. Until next time, subscribe for more health and wellness tips.